Hey guys, I'm Tara. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I want to go over some leg exercises that can be done with a barbell. So I know a lot of people maybe have gyms finally opening in their area. I know my gym's just opened this week, so I thought that this could be a good video to go over. So we're going to go over the difference between a conventional deadlift, a Romanian deadlift, and then we'll do a squat and a good morning. So we'll kind of go over form with these exercises as well. I have been lucky that I do at least have, I have a barbell with some weight, so I have been able to kind of do that throughout this whole COVID quarantine thing. But it'll be nice to get back to the gym and be able to start pushing the weights again. All right, so we'll get started. Okay, so we're going to start with a conventional deadlift first. So conventional deadlifts are really a hamstring and glute dominant exercise. It really works a lot on your grip strength, and compared to a Romanian deadlift, it's more total body. So I do a alternating grip. So I kind of grip it this way. You can also grip this way. If you're doing heavier weight, you can hold more if you do an alternating grip. So I'll do one set with my hands this way, and then I'll switch on and off between my sets. Okay, so make sure the weights are in. Normally at the gym you have clips to make sure the weight stays steady, but I don't have them at home. Okay, so your feet are, I like a little bit wider than hip width apart. So the bar is pretty close to your body. So your starting position is squatting down. So you get your hands in place. So from here, you're keeping your back straight and you're lifting up, and then you are sitting back, bending your knees, bringing the bar back down. So it's lifting up and bending back down. So my knees, I'm not coming too far forward. So it's kind of like your squat, but you're starting, so the bar, the weight is here, and then you're pulling up this way. So you're thinking about using your glutes to lift the bar back up. I'll bring it around to the side so you can see it this way too. Okay. All right, so you're gonna squat back down or deadlift down, and then lifting up. So you're down, and then lifting up. So if you can see my back, I'm not arching down to try to like lift up the bar this way. I really keep it in a neutral spine the whole time. So your neutral spine is like a slight arch in your back. So you don't want too much lordosis, so arching this way, and you don't want to be in a tilt, like a posterior pelvic tilt. So it's basically like this slight arch in your back. Okay, so next we'll review the Romanian deadlift. So the main difference of a Romanian deadlift compared to the conventional deadlift is that you're not really moving through your knee range of motion. So your knees stay slightly bent and you just hinge forward at your hips. So you never want to lock your knees out, so you always keep the knees soft. The Romanian deadlift works, so it's also working hamstrings and glutes, but it adds in, I think it's working your low back a little more than the conventional deadlift. Okay, so again, I do the alternating grip. Okay, so you never want to pick up the bar and just like bend over and like lift it from here. That's like how you could hurt your back. So do your like kind of like deadlift, your conventional deadlift lift, and then go into the Romanian deadlift. All right, so I'll switch my grip for this one. So we kind of like deadlift up. Okay, so now my knees are soft, slight bend in the knees. Feet are about hip width apart, and I'm going to hinge forward from my hips. So hinging forward. And then to come back up, I'm really thinking of using my glutes to pull my body back up. And you keep the bar close to your body. So hinge and pull back up. Hinge and pull back up. So you don't want to be like, if you're like doing it in the mirror, looking up while you're doing it and like extending too much in your neck. You want to keep your neck long and in like a neutral spine. Let me show you from the side. Okay. All right, so that you can see the hinge. And you can come down to whatever you feel is comfortable. So typically you want to come below the knee, but if you're not ready for that yet, that's okay. And lifting. And you can pull the abs in a little too. So hinge and lift. So you're really kind of using the glutes to pull that bar back up. Okay. Whew. I'm getting out of breath. So basically the main difference between conventional and Romanian is the conventional, you squat down, lift up, and then the Romanian, more of that hinge with the bar. My bar's rolling away. It's gonna knock over my plant. Next we're gonna go over a squat. So a squat is really working your glutes and your quads. So a squat is an easier exercise to start with if you are newer to exercise than jumping right into a deadlift. It's less likely you would injure your low back just because of the placement of the weight. Okay, so I have my bar here. So I did have to take the weight off of the bar because I cannot lift that over my head. So we don't have a squat rack, so this whole time, like Scott, like I put the weight on, and Scott, my fiance, he like lifts it up and then he puts it on my shoulders, and then he has to like come take it off. It's like a whole process for me to squat from home. Okay, but anyway. So bar placement. So I'll turn around. Hopefully I don't hit anything. Let me show you. So you don't want, so if you feel this bony part on like the lower part of your neck, right here, so that's your C7 cervical vertebrae, you do not want to let the bar be resting on that bony area. So you really want it to be more like your upper traps and your muscles are where the bar is resting. So if you look here, I'm not having it, like if I had it up here, I'd be like on my vertebrae, so it's a little lower, so it's resting on my muscles, and I kind of use my shoulders to hold it up. Especially if you're using heavier weight, it would not be good for your neck to be resting the bar there. Okay, so as you squat, so you're going to think about like you're sitting back in a chair. So you sit back and then come up. So it's like there's a chair behind me, sitting back and then up. So things people might do incorrectly. A lot of times people squat too much with their knees, so their knees are tracking forward as they squat down, and that's because they're not bending from their hips. So as I squat down, I can still see my toes, and then you come up. I'll let you see from the side. So you're going to squat down and then pull up. If you're really trying to focus on glute work, then think about that. So as you're pushing up, think about using your glutes to bring you back up. Again, you're going to have a neutral spine. So my spine is in neutral, and then I press up. Our last exercise with the bar is good mornings. So with good mornings, you are definitely going to use less weight than with your squats and with your deadlifts. So good mornings are really targeting the low back muscles, and your low back muscles are much smaller than our glutes and our quads and hamstrings, so it's not going to be moving as much weight. The exercise, although it's targeting low back, you are still getting some glute work as you do it. Okay, so most commonly, I'll show you before I put the bar. So basically a good morning is you're here with the bar, you hinge, and then you're coming up. So most commonly what happens is people get too much flexion, like, so if you can see the difference, as I'm leaning down, my spine is flexing and arching this way and then coming up. That's not what you want. You want your back flat and in neutral. So you're here hinging, and then you're coming up. And you want to try to keep the weight through your feet even, so the weight's not like really far forward. And if anything, you want it more back on your heels, but I try to keep an even weight distribution on my foot. Okay. All right, so like normally you would have a squat rack, so you'd be able to get the bar up easier. Okay, so you have always, again, like a slight bend in the knees. You're not locking out your knees, and you're going to hinge forward and then standing up. Hinging forward and up. Again, neck's in neutral. You're not looking up. And if your focus is more on glute work, Then just like on your way back up, really squeeze the glutes as you come up. So hinge down, squeeze the glutes as you come up. So on a side note, when I do my lower body days, especially if I'm going to be squatting or deadlifting, I like to wear Converse or my Vans because it's a flat shoe, and then you can have that even weight distribution. If you are squatting and you have like a shoe that has a lot of like arch support in it, then sometimes that can kind of throw you off a little bit. At least that's what I find. So I try to wear my Converse on days I'm doing like my legs and my lifts, and then I'll wear like a more supportive shoe, like if I'm doing cardio or having an upper body day. And I know like Converse aren't like the best for like foot health, but they do really work well for lifting. So all the exercises that we reviewed in this video are really great lower body exercises because they are functional movements. So if you're comparing it to doing some lower body machines like a leg extension machine, a leg curl, these exercises are going to work multiple muscles instead of just targeting one muscle. Not that you can't do leg extension, leg curls, there's still a place for those exercises, but it is important to incorporate these into your fitness routine. With these exercises, I'm not doing all 4 of these exercises on one leg day. I'll pick and choose 1 or 2 of these, incorporate them in, and then I'll work like, maybe I will do a leg extension machine or do some hip extension, other glute work. But if you did all these exercises in one workout, you would be really fatigued. Your legs would be really fatigued. I definitely got a workout today. I was going to do legs today, but honestly, that was really tiring filming this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments below. If you have not already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe, and I hope you guys have a beautiful day.